Peter Obi, immediately at the beginning of that 2023 election, as they call results, and he see the kind of vote when gather. If Namibia could go flag a political party, they won't make sure say Peter Obi no get any party where he say go contest under for 2027. They no one, because they know say the only formidable candidate where they get for South na Peter Obi. And what thing they won't do now to make sure say South won't get a strong contender, so that not go come say okay, because of say our brother Buhari don't do 8 years, no could live the remaining 8 years for Tinubu. Now what thing they won't do, because they don't see any formidable candidates. They want to make sure that Peter Obi does not have a party to contest under. Because as it be like this, Abure team no they won't carry last at all. They still the press on. This time around, they use in own brother Obiora Ifo, we been follow Igbo man now to make sure say they undo am. To make sure say they kukuma scatter the matter for inside the party. Because tell me, why Ibi say Obiora Ifo go hold the press conference? Guest person will write the outcome of the press conference. Welcome to Updated Precious. Now here will they tell on the cocoa of the matter them as it gets to do with politics for inside our country. And here will they break down the political conversation, make everybody for fit understand them weller. As it day like this right now, Peter Obi no get any political party when go contest with for 2027. Because as it be like this, Abure team no they won't carry last at all. They still the press on. This time around, they use in own brother Obiora Ifo, we been follow Igbo man now to make sure say they undo am. To make sure say they kukuma scatter the matter for inside the party. Because tell me, why Ibi say Obiora Ifo go hold the press conference? Guest person will write the outcome of the press conference. Now the secretary for inside Abure team, where Ibi say a Hausa man. So the Abure will be a doman, the Hausa man will be the secretary. Then send the publicity secretary will be Obiora Ifo. You can't talk to people about the fact, say, this thing where your brother, Alex Oti and Peter Obi, they do, say, we'll not go agree for this. How it be, say, this matter for Labour Party don't date this way. Where it be, say, nothing will do about them right now. Because I don't understand why a simple judgment from the courts, they so misinterpreted. Now, see what's in get to the talk. For everything when you explain, when you talk, say, oh, say the party no ever mention Abure name, say, make Abure go. But the judge mentioned Abure's name in the judgment. Listen, I go play on an audio from the court, from the judge mouth himself as they read the judgment. Where the judge use a mouth talk, say the judgment where they get from the appeal court, they retaining Abure, no hold any water. Say they like say they put substance on nothing. Say he no hold. The judge mentioned Abure's name. So how come a publicity secretary is not saying the judge did not mention Abure's name? How come he's saying that? Now, I'll play you the outcome of that press conference when you get. Make you listen to it and very careful and the things then when you talk. Then make you go listen to the certified true copy as mentioned by the judge in my audio recording of the judge when they talk for court. Audio recording. May you listen to the judge and make you come to your own conclusion. Go make you hear him.
Alhaji Umar Farouk Ibrahim, I'm only presenting. It has become necessary to call this press conference to state the Labour Party's position as it relates to the Supreme Court judgment due to the deliberate misrepresentation of facts about the judgment in some quarters. Secondly, we notice an attempt to blackmail INEC into taking wrong decisions. And that is why it has become imperative for me and for the party to put the record straight and put the issues into the proper perspective. The judgment as given by Supreme Court actually validated the convention of this party held in 2024. So I read the text. The position of Labour Party, after critically reviewing the Supreme Court judgment delivered on the 4th of April, 2025, and states as follows. 1, the Supreme Court, contrary to speculations, actually reaffirmed the National Convention of the party held on the 27th of March 2024 at Inewi, where it stated thus: the reason for the non-justiciability of internal disputes of a political party is simple, and that is that in the eyes of the law, a political party is a corporate entity with its constitution, rules, regulations, and guidelines, which are binding on all members who, having joined freely, have consented to be so bound. Say Abagunde versus Ondo State House of Assembly and others, 2015. Number 2, the internal affairs of a political party. The National Working Committee, elected on the 27th of March, 2024, by our party internal machinery, as stated by the Supreme Court, is in place. Let no one live in fool's paradise. Thank you. Signed, Barrister Julius Abure, National Chairman, Alhaji Omar Farouk Ibrahim, National Secretary. So, gentlemen of the press, it is just to please wait. It is just for us because we have kept reading up to yesterday about some narratives that are clearly against the party, clearly speaking against what the Supreme Court said. The Supreme Court has not at any time said that Julius Abure is no longer the national chairman of the Labour Party. The Supreme Court mainly said that the decisions of the lower courts recognizing Abure was taken out of context because they lacked the jurisdiction to even comment on internal affairs, that no court in Nigeria can comment on the internal affairs of the party because of the jurisdiction. No court, including the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court couldn't have said that the parties have no jurisdiction and go ahead and say and begin to talk about the leadership of a party. It was very clear. It simply asked the parties or the people that are agitating to go back to the party constitution and obey the party constitution, through which all the crises that the party has all levels of mechanisms to deal with the crisis in its political party. And it's a very simple, unambiguous statement, pronouncement by the Supreme Court. So some people went and started dancing all over the street, going to INEC and say that there is no way, if you have taken time to read the judgment, there is no place anywhere that the Supreme Court says arrogated themselves the power to decide on internal issues of the party, internal affairs of the party. It simply says, parties, go back home and look into your constitution. There are enough laws, there are enough procedures in your constitution to take care of any crisis that may emerge from the party. It was very clear. And there is no other place in the judgment that says that one Nenadi Usman has been recognized as the authentic leader of Labour Party. So I don't even know where they are getting this excitement about. So we have taken time, we have called them on several occasions. Now, it is very clear what the Supreme Court has said. Come back home. Let us see how we can put our family together so we can move forward. Because the matter terminates at the Supreme Court. It can't go any other place again. And the Supreme Court is very clear. So that is what I took out time to read this because some of my colleagues.
So you hear everything where Ibi say talk, how Ibi say just a throw basketballs to Peter beat him and all that. Say he don't know why did they get so excited. He don't know why did they misinterpret the judgment. Between them and him now, who they misinterpret the judgment? The court through the judgment may not have mentioned Nenadi Usman's name. As in the talk, say no away court mentioned Nenadi Usman's name. But the court clearly talks, say all the three applications by the appellants now the people will bring the case come the court. Meaning say Nenadi Usman a person will appeal the case. Say all the three prayers which she bring come, say they don't request, they don't grant her prayers. So when court talk say everything will be prayer, will be say you carry come court, they don't grant them. Does it not mean that the court don't grant you the judgment? Does it not mean that the court agree say, then you get past the case? Is that not what it means? So all of a sudden, on our ears deaf to that side of the judgment, and on our eyes blind to that part, and I don't see that part of the judgment, right? Or you make it go, yeah, waiting it be say the judge talk from the judge's mouth himself.
Judgment. A panel of 5 that consisted of Manana brothers John Ian Okoro JSC, Heli Moro KG Ogumidu JSC, Tijani Abubakar JSC, Haruna Simon Samani JSC, and Mohammed Baba Idris JSC sat and had the appeal. The lead judgment was written by Manana brother John Ian Okoro JSC, and I read this judgment on his behalf. The appeal is against the judgment of the Court of Appeal, Abuja, holding at Abuja, in appeal number CA-ABJ-CV 2017-2024, delivered on the 17th day of January 2025, against the judgment of the Federal High Court in suit number FHC-ABJ-CS 1271-2024, commenced by the first respondent at the trial court, wherein the suit at the trial court was struck out for want of jurisdiction. The facts that led to the appeal has been captured in the body of the judgment. Having reviewed the arguments of counsel, the court unanimously agreed as follows. The court held inter alia that the court below, having found that the first respondent's main relief was relief number 5, which was predicated on the leadership of the first respondent and thus not justiciable, strayed beyond the jurisdiction into the realm where even angels dread to tread, to pronounce Barrister Julius Abure as the national chairman of the first respondent. Their lordships of the lower court were wrong to so do. The principles of law applicable here is as expressed in the Latin maxim that no one puts something on nothing and expects it to stand. The first respondent suit that the trial court had no legs to stand in the circumstances and deserves to be struck out. Permit us at this point to reiterate the tried position of the law that if a court of law is bereft of jurisdiction to attain the main relief in an action, it do not have the jurisdiction to attain the ancillary claim, and more also, if the ancillary claim will inevitably involve a discussion of the main claim, as in this case, Situkur and Government of Gongola State. The 3 issues submitted for determination are hereby jointly resolved in favor of the appellants. The court held inter alia that the court below, having found that the first respondent's main relief was relief number 5, which was predicated on the leadership of the first respondent and thus not justiciable, strayed beyond the jurisdiction into the realm where even angels dread to tread, to pronounce Barrister Julius Abure as the national chairman of the first respondent. Their lordships of the lower court were wrong to so do. The 3 issues submitted for determination are hereby jointly resolved in favor of the appellants. In summary, both the trial court and the court below had no jurisdiction to entertain the suit of this first respondent, which main relief, as they both rightly observed, was inserted as relief number 5, as though it was an appendage. Consequent upon the foregoing, the decisions of both the trial court and the court below, recognizing Barrister Julius Abure as the national chairman of the first respondent, are hereby set aside. And suit number FHC ABJ CS 1271-2004 is hereby struck out for want of jurisdiction. In the same vein, the first respondent's cross appeal in appeal number SC CV 56A 2025, being an offshoot of the same judgment of the court below, is hereby dismissed. Before I'm done, may I admonish political parties and their members to endeavor to always allow their constitutions, rules, regulations, and guidelines to guide them in choosing their officers as well as candidates. That way, incessant internal rifts which always find their way to court will be reduced. If the constitution of a political party has prescribed duration for tenure of office of an officer, such officer should be humble enough to leave at the expiration of the tenure. In the final analysis, we found the appeal to be meritorious. The appeal is allowed. Parties shall bear their respective course. As the court will allow. That was the unanimous judgment of the court.
My noble Lord, we are very grateful for this judgment.
So you don't don't hear what's in the judge talk right now. So as it stands now, between these two people now, yeah, make your own judgment. Make it not be like saying my mouth to the talk, and make it not be like say I get to stand because it's a journalist, they go say you're not supposed to get to stand. Or yeah, between these two judgments now, the two statements where you hear from Obi Oraifo, and I don't want play Alex Oti own where he be say now you use a man read the judgment or no. This now the judge voice himself. As the judge, another judge, they read waiting the lead justice the rights for inside the judgment. Now from the court itself, now I read out, now I play on that certified true copy. From the court itself, a voice recording from the court itself. I beg, tell me, people always be English and always be interpret. What do you understand by that court judgment? Now, waiting make it be say INEC just day since they delay, they don't want to do anything. From waiting up here before they talk right now, say them Alex Oti them, that is Peter Obi, they say they want mislead INEC to take the wrong decision. Really? So INEC between these judgments, no fit make his own decision to know say the right thing to do, not to displace Abure because court mention them. Court mentioned them, even said, went as far to say that in tenure don't expire. It was mentioned in that judgment. It's a pity. Well, kindly drop your thoughts, your reactions, everything under here. Make we know as this matter take do you for body. I'm going to wait to hear from Ona how this matter take do Ona for body. As it stands now, I just wish, say, Peter Obi immediately at the beginning of that 2023 election, as it just they call results, and he see the kind of vote we gather. If Namibia must go flag a political party. That's what he would have done. It's looking like they won't make sure say Peter Obi no get any party where he be say go contest under for 2027. They no one because they know say the only formidable candidate where they get for South now Peter Obi. And what thing they won't do now to make sure say South won't get a strong contender so that not go come say okay because of say our brother Buhari don't do 8 years, no could live the remaining 8 years for Tinubu. Now what thing they won't do because they don't see any formidable candidates. They want to make sure that Peter Obi does not have a party to contest under, and this na very shameful thing. Well, make on a drop on a thought on our reactions on that. Make a know as you do on our body. Thank you.